Good evening, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to another episode of Critique Corner with me, Daniel Parker.
And me, DB Fastbinder. And man, the last couple of weeks, I don't know what it's been, but we've been making some not entirely optimal choices.
Yeah. Well, I will say one's better than the other, but yeah,
And I guess we have like moved up in quality from last week.
that's true. Yeah, and good to see you, Arcos, and
Hey, Arcos.
yeah, Jared Leto should have stuck with being a singer. Yeah, less less singing and more cult leading and other bad stuff that he's being accused of.
Look. If you're gonna go lead a cult, go do it quietly. And don't try to be my Joker or my Morbius for that matter.
Right, yeah, or Tron.
Yep.
But yes, if you're returning, welcome, like Arcos, welcome back. If you're new, what we do is we critique stuff from our corners. And for this week, to start us off, we have Cops and Robbersons.
So this is one where I had not seen this one in 25 years at least. This one used to be like I think we used to rent this one or we had it recorded off of TV. I forget which.
Uh,
And we used to watch this as a family fairly frequently. And rewatching it as an adult, it's a very different experience.
yes, I can imagine. Yeah. I had never seen this movie before, but I remember seeing it at my local Blockbuster whenever I was cruising the aisles. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm not the biggest fan of Chevy Chase, and no one in my family really is. So I guess that's probably why we never rented it.
Except that, like, as far as I can tell, my parents are only like tepid fans of Chevy Chase because I did not see the movie Christmas Story until, or excuse me, Christmas Vacation
Basic,
until I
yeah,
was in my 30s.
yeah.
So it's like we saw, and what was the other Chevy Chase movie we had sitting around? Forget,
Fletch.
no, we didn't have Fletch.
Oh, we didn't have. Oh,
I'm trying to,
um,
like, not what we reviewed, like what our family had around, sitting
oh,
around.
your fan. Oh, I'm sorry, sorry.
No
Yeah.
worries. It was, I forget, was it Funny Farm? It was like he was like a failed sports writer who uh, went out to the country to try to become a novelist.
That was Funny Farm. Yeah.
Yeah, that one I watched. And now that I think about it, at this stage of his comedy career, which this movie came out in '94, it's like they decided that his comedic voice was to be a completely pathetic schlub
Yeah,
between this and
switch.
Funny Farm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's either be a schlub or be a jerk.
Yeah, it's like I'd say he does a reasonable balance of the two in Christmas Vacation, but that's
Yeah.
like, it's very rare to like find the right balance.
Yeah.
Um, and now this thing is like an infamous bomb. It currently on Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at a average approval rating of 18% based on 22 reviews, with the average rating being 3.5 out of 10.
Yeah, and it's at 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
I honestly think that is a fair rating for this thing. Like probably the
Yeah.
5.3 because
Yeah.
it's kind of they unfortunately wasted their premise in part because Chevy's character is such a complete loser. So
Yeah.
basic idea: a counterfeiter has moved into a suburban neighborhood. The police want to put him under surveillance, so they ask the neighbor, Chevy Chase's character Norman Robertson, to let them stake out there. And you know, when Daniel, when you were watching this movie, you had some choice words about Chevy's character.
He's man. He's like I think you pointed it out too. He's basically he's a word that rhymes with duck.
Yes, a cuckoo bird.
Yeah.
Actually,
Uh,
the bird is the one that plants or that lays the errant egg. He's whatever kind of bird is playing host to the cuckoo bird.
right. Yeah. Yeah. He's just incredibly stupid, and got to be like he's like the world's worst husband and father, because because you could tell his wife, who's played by Diane Weist, she was in The Birdcage, which we watched a couple weeks ago. Um, and then he's got a teenage daughter, and then like I guess early teen son, and then a really young son who's like 7 or 8. And I will say that the only part of it I liked was that the young son was just very he's walking around like he's like Dracula, dressed up like a vampire. Uh,
Like just very odd.
yeah,
And it kind of the limpness of Chevy's character is that he just tolerates everything going on around him.
yeah, yeah. And I want to mention real quick the kid who plays the young son. His name is Miko Hughes, and he was the kid in uh, hi Aaron. Um, uh, he's the kid in Kindergarten Cop who drops the famous line, "Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina."
So you're saying that he punches above his weight class a bit.
Yes. But yeah, he's just but like get back to Chevy Chase, he's so useless in this movie.
Right. His deal is that he always wanted to be a cop, and he's obsessed with cop dramas and comedies and things like that. And so they play to that to let the police just camp out at his house in secret.
Yeah.
But he also, it's like, how could he be so enthusiastic about something without accidentally picking up a bit of common sense or pattern recognition?
I don't know.
Things like, don't go talk to the perp.
Yeah, don't go into the perp's house. Yeah.
Tell your wife that you're going to do this.
Yeah. The we should also mention real quick the characters of the two cops. So you got the grizzled old veteran cop played by Jack Palance, and the family takes to him pretty quickly. They start calling him Uncle Jack or Uncle Jake. It was Jake or Jack.
Jake.
Jake. Yeah, they start calling him Uncle Jake because they do that because because Chevy Chase and his idiocy. He the perp goes inside the house, and then sort of they have to give him the cover story that this is actually my brother.
He sees them watching in the window because while Chevy was in the perp's house, he kept signaling to the cops watching through the window in their observation room.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. Oh jeez. And then you also have the young detective who starts to have a very uncomfortable relationship with the teenage daughter.
Yeah, it gets kind of romantic pretty fast.
Yeah, and he's probably like in his mid-20s, and she's like 16 or 17.
Yeah. Hopefully she's 18. Please be
Oh,
18.
please be. Yeah. The quote Ricky Bobby, please be 18.
I think this is one like a single line of like, I'm home from college for spring break.
Or she's going to a community college nearby and she's still living at home.
All right, just don't make her a high school student. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Like, ugh. Even in the mid 90s, I would think that would be would have been really like
a little
not
skeevy.
Good. A little skeevy, yeah.
And the problem is, I'm just going to go ahead and spoil the movie because the best parts of this movie are not the plot.
No.
I have a caveat case for why you should consider watching this movie if you have Tubi and nothing else to watch on there. But I'll get to that in a minute. The problem with it is that you'd think that this would be a storyline about Chevy stepping up and managing to save his family in the end when they inevitably get involved with the with the robber, right?
Yeah.
With the counterfeit, excuse me, counterfeiter.
Yeah.
But his efforts to save them only buy them like 3 seconds of distraction before his wife grabs a dropped shotgun and saves the day.
Yeah.
It's to the point where, and we both came up with this idea independently. This movie could have worked just as well if she had been a widow with 3 children that the police asked for the help with.
Yeah. It, especially given like the slightly flirtatious banter between Jack Palance and Diane Weiss throughout the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so we've crapped on the movie enough. There is one shining thing that, and this is why the movie stuck with me and why I wanted to rewatch it. Jack Palance is amazing in this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just does not give a single shit about a single thing that's going on with the family.
No, he
Like,
doesn't. Yeah.
he is just past it. He is annoyed the entire time.
Yeah.
Like one of the kid, the vampire kid, keeps acting weird, like tries to bite him multiple times. So
Yeah.
eventually, he gets a steak and some ketchup and pretends to like
Stick him in the heart. Yeah.
stick him in the heart to end the game.
Yeah. And then the kid starts running around pretending to be a cop.
Yeah, which just goes to show you that all Chevy had to do to snap his kid out of the weirdness was to stop talking with them, like stop the gentle parenting and just meet him on his weird level.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Palance as a grizzled old, dirty, filthy cop is amazing.
Yeah.
Because it just makes some contrast with the wife is so clearly just completely unsatisfied with her wife, but she's like devoted herself to this homemaker thing so much that she puts all of her energy into that.
Yeah.
Like Chevy makes an offhand comment. Well, what should I make them? Well, they're cops. They just eat donuts.
Yeah, so she makes a bunch of donuts.
The most beautiful, perfect, top tier donut shop quality donuts you've ever seen. With multiple colors of frosting.
Yeah.
Which, they're like that because the people like behind the scenes just went over to a donut shop and bought one of everything. But
Yeah.
it's just in universe, it's funnier to think that she went to that much obscene effort.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, yeah, Chevy never learns his lesson. And this just occurred to me while we were talking. You know who I think could have actually sold this movie?
Oh, who?
Chris Farley.
Oh, he would have been really good in this.
Right? Because the problem with Chevy is that he always comes off as too smart when he's playing stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Chris Farley would have sold it a lot better than Chevy Chase. Yeah.
Right, the childish enthusiasm and lack of self-awareness.
Oh yeah.
Like just imagining a Tommy Boy type performance out of him in this is just that would have been made this movie at least a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I can't necessarily recommend this movie. It's just
I am probably looking at this with somewhat rose-tinted glasses just because the Palance scenes have stuck with me over the years. But like that is my caveat. Like, that is the main reason to watch this thing. Honestly, you could probably get the same experience just like going to YouTube and seeing if anybody's posted a compilation of it.
Yeah, but if you are just dead set on watching it, currently on Tubi.
Yep. Or not to be.
Or that's you.
Okay. So it also has the benefit of only being 90 minutes, so that's always a plus.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know what isn't 90 minutes?
Yeah.
The audiobook of Star Wars Allegiance by Timothy Zahn.
Yes. So continuing my journey through Star Wars expanded universe novels from Timothy Zahn. A couple of weeks ago, I talked about Survivor's Quest. This one, Allegiance, is actually takes place shortly after the events of A New Hope, where the rebels are just coming off their victory from the Death Star, but they're, of course, they had to leave Yavin 4 and they're moving around. Um, and the opening of the book, they're on a planet called Teardrop, and there Han, Luke, and Chewie are evacuating all of the rebels from there. But just as they do, a Star Destroyer arrives, but they're able to kind of like, Han's able to like talk his way out of it. And but as such, all the rebels leave. But of course, that's not enough for the ISB agent that is on board the Star Destroyer. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Star Wars lore, ISB, that's the Imperial Security Bureau. And they're basically like the SS of the Empire. And they they land on Teardrop, but of course there are no rebels there. It's all civilians, but the ISB guy says no, they're still rebels. We need to kill them all. And so they all get massacred. But then you have these 5 stormtroopers who start to question like what it is they're actually doing. Being stormtroopers, they joined the Empire to be, to restore order to the galaxy, and
I just wanted to pay for college.
right. Yeah, exactly. And we also learned that one of the stormtroopers, his name is Lerone, he was actually intentionally missing his shots so that he wouldn't actually shoot anybody. But unfortunately, which I think J.J. Abrams might have, may have seen that.
Hold on. Let's be fair here. I can't imagine J.J. Abrams actually reading a book.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
But somebody might have described it to him.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, so the ISB agent is wise to that, and so he threatens to just summarily execute Lerone right then and there. But then Lerone's instincts and training kick in, and then he ends up killing the ISB agent. And of course, as he does this, it's all witnessed by his 4 friends, Grave, Marcross, Brightwater, and Quiller. And so all 5 of them are like, okay, well, what do we do now? And they just decide, okay, well, we got to get out of here. So they steal the ISB agent's ship and they make a clean escape. And so then they're trying to figure out like, okay, well, how do we, what do we do from here? And so as they go along trying to, as they're on the run, they keep running afoul of these this pirate gang called the Blood Scarns. And of course, it's not just the stormtroopers that are, of course, then they end up calling themselves the Hand of Judgment. And so, but they're not the only ones going who keep running into the Blood Scarns. You've also got Han, Luke, and Chewie end up looking into them as well. They start doing that instead of going with Leia to another planet to meet with some rebel leaders, because she goes off and does that. And of course, part of the subplot there is that Han is like, you have to remember, of course, this is shortly after A New Hope, so Han is still not quite like sure that he wants to be part of the Rebel Alliance. He's just like, okay, what's my role here? What am I supposed to do? And of course, he's no fan of Mon Mothma or General Riken. He's just like, he thinks Mon Mothma is like a bureaucrat, which she kind of was.
Yeah. The God, the thought in my head, the Elizabeth Warren of the rebellion just popped into my head. That is the most unfair comparison I can possibly think of.
Yeah. Oh man. Ooh. I don't think.
That's more Holdo, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's Holdo. Yeah. Mon Mothma, I would say more like I'd say Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. But although I don't know how Lucas or anybody else would feel about that comparison, but yeah. So
It's
then
like pottery; it rhymes.
respect party. Yeah. But then also you have Mara Jade, who she's just starting out her career as the Emperor's Hand. She infiltrates a party with this governor, and then she finds out that this imperial governor is actually embezzling funds from the empire. And but then so she reports back to Palpatine, and then she wants to investigate it further, so Palpatine lets her, and then that's when she runs into the Blood Scars. So you've got all of these these three different groups of people all kind of, or I guess four groups of people all converging into one big set piece near the end of the book. And you've also, of course, shouldn't also mention Darth Vader makes a few appearances in the story. And he has some interactions with Mara Jade. And for those of you who know a lot about Star Wars lore, Darth Vader did not like Mara Jade at all.
I mean, even before the rule of two was a thing, officially, you gotta have to go, wait. I gave up everything to be your apprentice, and what? You want a new, different apprentice?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's even a scene in there where there's a bit of a misunderstanding between Vader and Mara, and Vader tries to take Mara's head off with his lightsaber, and she's just like, hey, take it easy. By the way, Mara is 18 in this story, as Timothy Zahn wants you to be fully aware of.
Is this like in Star Trek 1, where the bald woman declares that her chastity is, or a vow of chastity is on public record or something?
It's something like that, yeah.
In terms of how awkward it is.
Yeah. But I will say the story, it's a overall, the book it's a nice tight story. It's not Zahn doesn't get too bogged down in a lot of the minutia of the plot, or or everything that's going on in the Star Wars universe. It's not like the Hand of Thrawn books that I thought were just like really slow and just like took forever. It seemed like it took forever to get to the point. This one is much better, and it's although I will say one drawback or one negative I do have is that you don't get a whole lot of characterization with the Hand of Judgment. You get a little bit about Laron's backstory and Marcross's backstory, but that's just about it. Like, you don't really know a whole lot about the other stormtroopers. And that might be kind of intentional on Zahn's part, because there's like, well, they're stormtroopers, and it's just kind of just how we view stormtroopers.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's a decent, it's a good book. I don't know, it's no Thrawn trilogy, obviously, or
right. Well, it's a side story that sounds like it knows that it's a side story, and so it sounds like they do a pretty decent job of investing you in characters who can actually like die, because they're not pivotal characters who will ever appear again.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, the other thing too, I would have actually kind of I do think there was like a sequel to this book. I don't think Zahn wrote it, or he might have written it. I don't know, but I guess Mara does reunite with the Hand of Judgment, because at the end of the book she does work with them, and then I guess she works with them again later on. But I actually would have been kind of cool to have more stories with her in these stormtroopers, but
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I mean, again, I'd recommend it, especially if you like Star Wars, and if you haven't really had a chance to delve into the expanded universe. Definitely would start doing that, especially, and start with Timothy Zahn's books. Those are kind of like the gold standard of the expanded universe.
By the way, apologies if you can hear a bunch of shouting in the backgrounds. I have some neighbor kids playing around outside.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I'm familiar with that myself. Yeah, but yeah, currently you can get this audiobook wherever you get your audiobooks. Audible, Apple, all those good places.
Well, I guess we should probably move on to our main event.
Yes.
He-Man it's streaming.
Yes. He-Man.
Dun, 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 dun. Except that wasn't the leitmotif for this movie.
No, it wasn't.
It was, of all things, an ABBA song.
Yeah.
They kept playing with it.
Yeah. Yes, Masters of the Universe. Once again, a grand attempt to revive a basically dead franchise.
Yeah, and the sad thing is that, and I think this, I'm parroting this from Andre over at Midnight's Edge, is that this should have come out around the same time as Transformers, because the reason that was able to revive them for a while was because it was something that like fathers to sons could share.
Right. Yeah.
Because of the time gap. But like if you were 10 when He-Man came out, you're 50 now.
Yeah. And you've probably got grown kids.
Right. And I think I like this thing more than I probably should objectively.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't hate I don't hate this movie, but there were certain creative decisions that they made that I'm kind of I was groaning more than I was like laughing or cheering. Kind of, I'm so mad at Marvel for giving us that well, specifically Taika Waititi.
Yes.
That brand of humor. Like I'm so done with it.
Yes. It also feels like it's trying to be the man's version of the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, because it thinks it has it has some sort of social commentary to give, but I guess actually guess just like the Barbie movie, it falls apart if you think about it for more than 3 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Barbie movie, when we reviewed it years ago, my overall thought on it was that this thing is so incoherent that anybody can claim it supports any side of any fight they like.
Yeah.
And there will be something in the text to support that, but also something else equally opposite to denigrate or to undercut your theory.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess we should delve into the plot of the movie.
Yes. So our star, actually, I guess we start off in the past.
Yes. Oh God, that narration. Sorry, go ahead.
Actually, I had a delivery to drive. If you wouldn't mind starting the summary, I'll be
okay.
right.
No
Just
problem.
a moment.
All right. So yeah, beginning of the story, we got this like really goofy narration from our lead Adam, where he's telling the story of when he was a kid on Eternia, and basically he's growing up. He's this, he's the kind of the runt of all of the other kids, even though but he still has to train to be a warrior because he's a prince. And of course, it's there we meet his mother, and then also young Cringer, and as well as his childhood friend Tila, and then her father Duncan, also known as Man at Arms. But it's, of course, during the midst of this is when of course, the great villain Skeletor shows up and attacks Eternos, which is the city on Eternia, and because he wants the Sword of Power. And then they get to Castle, and of course they get to Castle Grayskull, where everything is. And the sorceress, she sends Adam and the sword away to be safe, and of course she sends him to Earth. But as he's traveling to Earth through this, interdimensional wormhole, he loses the sword, and he lands in a lake in Oklahoma City. And we find out that he's actually telling this story while he's on a date. And the woman he's on a date with is like, "Okay, you're a weirdo. I'm leaving."
You know what occurred to me as I was watching that scene?
Yeah.
This thing is ripping off the Sonic the Hedgehog series, like the movie series.
It is, yeah. With Sonic, because Sonic ends up on Earth, and
after being thrown into there by a bird-themed wizard. Now that I think about it.
Okay. Well, did Sonic rip off, or is this movie ripping off Sonic, or did Sonic rip off this movie?
I mean, I've never seen the Dolph Lundgren Masters of the Universe movie, so I can't dismiss the idea that Sonic could have taken some inspiration from that. But I know that both involved. Well, no, in that movie, He-Man wasn't a refugee in our world as a child. So
no, that's true. Yeah,
this is much more like Sonic.
Okay, yeah. So it's ripping off Sonic. This movie rips off Sonic.
Yep.
So and we find out that Adam is he's got a roommate who likes to watch romantic movies and pretend he doesn't.
He also has like a top tier man bun.
Yeah. Which I thought that went out of style like 10 years ago.
He did appear to be he appeared to be Asian, so I guess that's more of a cultural thing. But
but Adam is working in an HR job that he clearly hates, and why wouldn't you? I wouldn't want to work in HR either.
Here's the thing about HR, though. To get into HR, you actually need like degrees and certifications. HR isn't a job that you fall into by accident.
Yeah.
Like telephone support is a job you can fall into by accident. I don't know. Being a shift manager at IHOP is a career you can fall into by accident.
Yeah. And Arco says you're not missing much. DBA barely has anything to do with the initial Motu Lord. That's true. Yeah, the Dolph Lundgren movie. Yeah, it's really not. Yeah, it doesn't have they doesn't have much to do with it's Masters of the Universe in name only, really. Thank you, Canon Films.
Okay, say no more.
Yeah. But all the while he's working this job, he's trying to find the Sword of Power, and he's keeps posting it online to say, "Hey, has anybody seen the sword?" And he drew the sword from his own memory, as well as everybody else from Eternia. Like his room was just full of drawings of everybody he knew from Eternia, and of course he later on in the movie we find out he didn't remember any of their names, so he gave them other nicknames, and the nicknames that he gave them are their toy names.
Right, like Ram Man and
Fisto. Yeah.
So then he finds the sword, or he buys the location of the sword from somebody. It's at a comic book shop.
Yeah. And so he takes the sword, just flat out steals it. And of course, the whole thing with the sword is, his manager in this HR department. She's just very passive aggressive, and she's like, "Why are you obsessed with swords?" And she's doing this like HR speak and everything, and just
Right,
I
where it's
don't.
like it's very harsh, but it's like so soft that you don't even feel the lash.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, Arco says being an HR person requires people skills, the kind of people skills that would help you understand not to tell anyone outlandish story on a first date. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
um,
my only possible defense of Adam is that maybe it's the third date and this is very important to him.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't think they specified how many dates he'd been on, just that it was their last date.
Yes. But then after Adam steals the sword, he does end up getting arrested. And in the midst of being arrested, that's when Beastman shows up, because somehow they found out that he found the sword, and they got to get the sword.
Yeah, like the thing is, he doesn't even activate the sword, so all I can assume is there's some sort of dimensional resonance when he comes in contact with it again.
Yes,
Like,
because not only does Beastman show up, but also Tila. And of course, Tila is just like, oh, it's she recognizes him immediately. It's you, Adam.
yep.
And so then they fight. They have this big chase and fight with Beastman, and then they fly off in her ship, and they get back to Eternia. And then from there, the whole thing kicks off, where Adam has to figure out how to use the sword, and then he become He-Man, and they. Of course, the other part of it too is we've got Duncan, Man at Arms. He's dealing with some rather severe post-traumatic stress, because he lost the fight to Trapjaw, and he wasn't able to protect Adam and then the king and his
Right.
parents, the king and queen.
He just sees himself as a huge failure. Like his whole identity was built around protecting the kingdom, and he couldn't.
Yeah. And so they when they get to of course when they get to Eternia, Skeletor is basically just completely laid waste to the whole place. And of course he finds out that Adam's back, and he's got or he doesn't know that it's Adam, but just that that the sword is there. But then of course Adam eventually does have the sword, and he does become He-Man. He does the whole by the power of Grayskull, I have the power, and which that was actually missing from the Dolph Lundgren movie. That never really happens.
Yeah, like so. Quick sidebar about actually. So how spoiler do we want to get? Because I don't think we want to completely give away the whole thing. Like at least not without giving people a chance to back out.
Right. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So let's give our initial thoughts, and then we'll put a spoiler warning, give a spoiler take on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that that Taika Waititi has done, and between him and James Gunn, they have done immeasurable damage to sincerity in Hollywood movies, because the success of Thor: Love and Thunder and the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy
Yeah.
convinced a lot of people that what crowd-pleasing dialogue sounds like is to undercut everything serious with a joke immediately after.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's it was cute for a little bit, but now it's just like eye rolling, groaning. Like, please stop doing this. It's good.
Like I think that the Dungeons and Dragons movie, Honor Among Thieves, was probably the best balance of that. Again,
Mhm.
part of the reason that worked, where this one like undercuts itself heavily, is that because of what Dungeons and Dragons is, it was easy enough to just imagine that this is like the worst, the most poorly optimized table ever, with a DM with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And like even when it was silly, the characters, at least not that I remember, like there was never like a lot of, well, that was a thing in it. A lot of the humor in
Yeah.
that, in fact, was having odd visuals that the characters just kind of accepted.
Yeah.
I'll just give an example of when you find out that the enormous not Viking barbarian woman in the party seems to have a thing for short men, and that lots of barbarian women seem to have a thing for short men.
Yeah.
Like some of the visuals of them just standing across from each other were funny on their own. Like I
Yeah.
don't mind that kind of humor, but like so I guess this movie decided to try to beat the beach off line from Barbie with
Uh,
the with like Fisto going, I you're called Fisto because you fist things. Stop saying that.
oh, yeah.
Because here's the thing, like He-Man is by its nature a somewhat silly okay, it is a silly franchise.
Yeah.
It is designed to like it is like it's actually kind of like Marvel or DC where it's an everything universe.
Yeah.
You want science fiction, you got science fiction. You want alien invaders, there's alien invaders. You want robots, there's robots. You want dragons, there's dragons. You want underground lizard people, there's probably that too.
Yeah. Yeah. The guys at Mattel who created the whole franchise, so called it the kitchen sink property. It's just like throw whatever you want at the wall and see if it sticks.
And like, tell me that He-Man isn't designed to be every little 6-year-old's power fantasy who's tired of having to clean their room.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, the concept for it was when they were watching like 5 6 year old boys playing with their toys, they always say, you do this because I tell you to do it, because they said because they wanted to have the power. That's where it all came from. Yeah.
And it's like, who wouldn't want to have a cool guy who's the best warrior with every weapon in the world, like Man at Arms? Who wouldn't want to have a giant tiger who is his friend?
Yeah.
Who the big tiger is a coward. Tiger is a coward, so you can feel brave by helping the tiger be brave.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want uh, a hot redhead like Tila to be your opposite number?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it has everything.
Yeah.
But the movie, like I swear, the movie is cool in like 1 minute bursts, and then it gets self-conscious that somebody might start taking a scene seriously.
Yeah.
And it has to insert I joke is what they mean for them to be, but it really is like a lot of that. Well, that was a thing.
Yeah. 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 And the whole like, and the what they do with Adam and He-Man, I thought like was just like they treat him very oh god, they're pretty harsh with the guy. Like, I mean, I get that like the whole dynamic with Adam was, Prince Adam is like a goofball. He's he's kind of lazy. He doesn't really like doing anything. But then as soon as he puts the sword up and he's He-Man, and he's a strong, tough guy, and um, but they just kind of like they kind of write him off a lot, which is just like okay.
Right. When you look at it objectively, he actually does a pretty good job considering that like he had some combat training when he was a kid, but he clearly didn't keep up with it. And he wasn't
Yeah.
even good at combat training when he was a kid.
Yeah.
But considering he just got handed Superman level strength, he's actually handling himself pretty decently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, so I think we've driven that point into the ground.
Yeah.
It's just that when we talk about anything in the storyline going forward, just imagine if we're describing something that sounds cool,
Yeah.
Somebody's going, like 90% of the scenes, somebody is going to say something to undercut it.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to point it out every time it happens because we'd be here all night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, a sentence I never thought I would ever say in this order.
Yeah.
Jared Leto is perfectly cast in this movie and is a delight.
Yeah, I didn't think that. Yeah, those words would ever come out of your mouth.
But it's true. His
Yeah.
Skeletor is great.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, like, whatever we were just bemoaning about them not taking it seriously, a villain like Skeletor, who is in it for the love of the game,
Yeah.
and well, like in the cartoon, from what I've seen of it, I fully admit, have not seen very much of He-Man. I've seen some compilations of things like Skeletor hurling insults for like 3 minutes straight.
Yeah.
They captured that part of Skeletor flawlessly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the thing. Yeah, hey, Skeletor to King Randor, come in, you royal boob.
Or Beastman, Skeletor, I didn't know you could do that. Skeletor, I could write a whole book about what you don't know.
Yeah.
But they managed to very perfectly capture the fun of an over-the-top cartoon villain like Skeletor. And again, Leto is clearly having a good time. This might be the only time I've ever actually seen him having a good time in something. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah.
Because like his performance as the Joker, he seemed like he was afraid, like, please don't compare me to Heath Ledger. Please. I'm trying so hard.
Yeah. Yeah,
and in Morbius, he just looked miserable.
Yeah, Morbius. Yeah, he did not want to be there in that movie. Clearly.
But here he's having a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's great in this movie. Yeah, and I will say the performances are all around really good. I mean, I liked Idris Elba as Man at Arms, and and I will say the actress who plays Tila,
and she's great. Very easy on the male gaze, but just like she does her job well.
Yeah.
She is way less insufferable than a lot of her counterparts have been in these sorts of movies.
Oh yeah. They don't girl boss her to death.
Right. Like there's maybe like a little bit of it, but she was always a competent fighter in her own right. So it's not like they've added this to a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Idris Elba. Man, Idris Elba is in everything.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's even in video games.
Yeah. Heck, I heard that when they did that Tolkien biography a while back, they wanted to cast him, but he rejected it because he didn't want to be seen as a Tolkien black guy.
But
sorry, I don't get to use that joke very often, but I think it's the best joke I ever came up with.
It's very good. Very good.
So, anyway, and also just like the special effects and the set pieces are surprisingly well done. Okay, not surprisingly, because you know how much money they threw at this thing.
Yeah.
Probably the standard 200 million.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, at least. Let's
but
see. Yeah, 170. Yeah.
And we have seen much worse effects for much more money recently.
Oh yeah. Cool.
And the plot is more coherent than a lot of like Marvel movies, which makes me think that they saved a bit of money by actually having a script when they started. Shocking concept.
Yeah. What a
Because like Andre over at Midnight's Edge cares deeply about Masters of the Universe. So does Tom.
Yeah.
I think if this thing had been marred by the type of behind the scenes issues that we were seeing out of like Supergirl, they would have beaten that drum.
Yeah.
Like there were issues picking out a Prince Adam and picking out a script, but it sounds like once they had a direction, they actually went with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and the just mention real quick, the director is Travis Knight. He directed Kubo and the Two Strings, which we did a review of.
Okay,
And he also did Bumblebee.
that explains the competence. Okay,
Yeah.
it's nice what's having somebody who actually knows how to compose a shot.
Yeah.
Also, the other praise I'll give this movie is that they actually make good use of He-Man's super strength in all the fights.
Yeah.
Like, he isn't just punching hard; he's picking dudes up and using them to whack other dudes, and it's pretty
Yeah.
convincing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And like the one scene where they're having like the fighter pilot chase or the captured airplane chase, it
Yeah.
kind of reminded me of the speeder bike stuff from Return of the Jedi, but it's
Yeah.
like it had its own spins on it, like very creative vehicle design, very
Yeah.
fun. Like it's, I
Yeah.
think the more I talk about it, the more I'm finding myself kind of wanting to recommend that people watch this.
Yeah. 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 I could definitely. I would like recommend it for anybody if you if you like this genre of movie, or if you're at least somewhat curious about He-Man and Masters of the Universe. Yeah, definitely give it a watch. It's not a perfect movie. We have our issues with it, with the lack of sincerity in a lot of scenes, and the bad jokes and stuff, um I mean, take all of that aside, I think it's still a decent, decent, entertaining enough movie. It kind of reminded me of Transformers One. Um, that movie had some great moments in it, but it was also marred by the really bad Marvel humor.
Yeah, I would say that the Marvel humor in this is a bit worse because it's so
Yeah,
omnipresent.
yeah. Uh, but Argo said he really enjoyed it, and so yeah, hope it gains ground out of the theaters enough for a sequel. I don't
Yeah,
know. Yeah, I
it's
mean,
the way Amazon counts movies as part that they put on their streaming service is very much voodoo math.
yeah, yeah,
So it's hard to gauge if they will think they'll get a return on the investment. Like the actual box office on this thing was pitiful, unfortunately.
yeah. It was. Yeah, budget was 170, and yeah, 113 total. Ugh.
Ugh, which means they got like 60-ish of that back.
Yeah. Mm,
And that also doesn't account for marketing.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, on the flip side, Amazon Prime prints money, so they subsidize that. And they made more money and got more attention off of it than they would have if they just released it straight to streaming. So that might
True.
be how they justify it.
Yeah. 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 Who knows? Um. But yeah, I do kind of want to do some like do some light spoiler talk.
Yeah. Yes. So that ends the non-spoiler part of this thing. We're now going to get into full plot details. So if
Yeah.
we made it sound like the high C low B experience, it probably will be for you.
Yeah.
Go for it. Also, if you loved Thor Love and Thunder or loved Thor Ragnarok and you're wondering what the hell we're talking about, why can't we just take a joke? You will love this movie. Just go watch it right away.
Yes,
No
absolutely.
reservations.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yes, spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So the whole thing with so the robot I thought was really, like, it was okay. The whatever her name was, I can't remember.
Was it Roboto?
Roboto, yeah. Yeah, it was like a assassin robot that uh, Duncan turned into a cleaning robot because he almost killed me.
Yeah, she kind of reminded me a bit of the robot from, or excuse me, of the droid from
Oh,
Solo.
Solo. Oh yeah, kind of not quite as cringy, but yeah. Um, the well, speaking of cringy, cringer. We were talking about that before the show. We didn't you don't get a whole lot of cringer in this movie. He's there at the beginning when Adam's a kid, and then he shows up near the end. And he's like, I want some armor next time.
See, like that's the sort of fourth wall joke that I would smile and chuckle at if it wasn't surrounded by so much other like insincere humor.
Yeah, yeah. Although I will say there's some good callbacks to like the cartoon show. Like at the end of the movie when when they tell somebody tells some joke and they all start laughing. They do the ha 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 ha.
Oh, see, I didn't see enough of it, so I didn't quite get what they were doing there.
That was the they when they rotoscoped it. Yeah, they did the having all the characters their hands on their hips and ha ha
Oh,
ha
okay,
ha
I've seen
ha.
that out of context before.
Yeah. Um, and of course, then you've also got some uh, one. Well, I mean, Arcos mentioned the sequel. They teased a sequel at the end because how it ends is when He-Man defeats Skeletor and it seems like he kills him, but Evil Lynn shows up and grabs his skull.
Okay, that reminds me. So I'd always thought that Evil Lynn was a brunette or had black hair. Was that a helmet the whole time? Was she supposed to be a blonde?
No, she had black hair in the original cartoon. I don't know why they made her a blonde in this movie. It's an
I don't
interesting
either.
choice.
I noticed that neither of us mentioned her. She was kind of a weak link in the performance, I honestly thought.
Yeah, yeah, she's played by Alison Brie, who trying to think of another movie she's been in, but she's married to Dave Franco, James Franco's brother.
Hmm.
Oh, and the sorceress, she was played by Marina Baccarin, who is Deadpool's girlfriend in the Deadpool movies.
Huh, she was okay. The only role I really have seen here is she was a character on Community, and also she was Unikitty in the Lego Movie.
Oh, yeah, she. Most people remember her from Firefly.
Oh,
Or
was she
are
the
you talking?
courtesan?
Yeah, she was the courtesan. Yeah.
I'm talking about the. Yeah, I'm talking about Evelyn.
Evelyn. I was talking about the yeah, Alison Brie. Okay. Yeah, I was talking about the actress who plays Sorceress.
Oh, okay.
Um, sorry.
That makes much more sense because she looked a little bit young to have been the courtesan 20 years ago.
No one. Yeah. Um, I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, yeah, she was in Community, and yeah, I'm trying to think of any other movie. I can't really think of too many movies that I've seen her in, but but
Yeah, not
yeah,
bad. Just I kind of felt like they needed somebody who like had more evil aura, to you,
yeah.
as the kids would say.
Arco says it's because blondes have more fun. Yeah. um, but and also too, Orko does show up in the post credit scene.
It was kind of a shame they didn't find a way to bring him in before that, but that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'll also say that this movie is like very visually faithful to the designs.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Yeah. More so than the Canon Films version, definitely.
Or for a lot of Marvel movies, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I will say the one scene there's one scene there that I didn't like that was a little too awkward was when Tila friend zones Adam.
Well, it is the guy's Barbie movie, so you can't have any sort of romance in it, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah, you got a point there.
And I think that so you know what, let's bring up that a little bit
Okay.
because that was So they thought they were saying something about masculinity and trying to seek other solutions,
Yeah.
but it's extremely muddled because um, uh, so the idea of a superhero who is an HR person and speaks in HR speak has some potential just as a like you could analyze like where it would work and where it doesn't. It never works the entire movie. And he
Oh.
only achieves anything when he puts it aside and just fights.
Yeah.
And the movie doesn't seem to necessarily recognize that because he keeps trying it.
Yeah. 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 Like there's the scene where they're all in the cell and he's trying to rally them all, and then he's trying to do the same HR speak, and they're all just looking at him like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And then he finally just gives it up and starts to, be himself.
Maybe I guess that was kind of the point, though. Again, he does keep trying it after it's like you would expect it to have stopped.
Yeah.
So it's odd. I'll just
Yeah.
say that it's a little bit mixed.
Yeah.
Um, I do like how Skeletor is one of the better scenes. And this is probably where you've seen the clips online of Skeletor just at the gym or at
Oh yeah.
the in the office. That's when he's basically poking around Adam's mind psychically because Skeletor's magic can basically do anything that he decides he wants it to.
Right.
That always has been the case.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, so he's yeah, so I know those you see those scenes on the internet out of context, and you're probably going to think, what the hell is this crap? But if you watch it in the context of the movie, it makes more sense.
Right. It's actually like a good scene as he's kind of mocking the life that he's built for himself.
Yeah.
And so, like, I guess this is a bit more coherent than the Barbie movie because it's not like it brings up too much real day or modern day politics like they were alluding to in that one.
Yeah.
It's just like the point is a bit muddled, I guess I'll say. It's less
Yeah.
muddled than the Barbie movie, but still a bit muddled.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And when in reality, I think most people just want to see He-Man beating up bad guys.
Right. Actually, what would have been a really funny twist is that like what if Evil Lynn had been his HR manager and she had actually like been or had been his therapist
Oh yeah.
and she was like trying to ruin him
Yeah.
uh, as he and I convinced him not to look for the sword. Damn it! I hate it when I write a better movie 3 years after I could have possibly made the suggestion.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Like that would have been great, right? Like
Oh, would
she
have. Yeah. Yeah.
like she's trying to dissuade him from finding the sword. She you could even have the HR manager mention that your therapist was telling me, wait, I thought this was supposed to be confidential. Don't worry, I'm HR. It's all fine. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
confidential.
Like,
I think they needed to be like a little crueler to the HR arts to make the point they wanted to make.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. 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 But yeah.
Um, let's see, was there anything else? Oh, the other kind of funny thing is Dolph Lundgren makes a brief appearance
Oh yeah.
when Adam's at the gym and he's standing between Dolph Lundgren and the mirror and he goes, "Hey, you're in my spot." It's like, I get what you did there.
Yeah. And then he gives him life advice that just makes absolutely no sense to him at the time, but then later on in the movie, it actually helps him out.
Yep. Yeah. The more I talk about it, I think the more I end up liking this movie than I didn't.
Yeah.
It's just that it's one of those things where when you're not being yanked out of the flow of the story every minute or so by a bad joke,
Yeah.
it's much easier to appreciate what they pulled off here.
Yeah.
Because, like, remember, like in X-Men or excuse me, Wolverine or Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to say Wolverine and the X-Men, but because I'm used to Wolverine's name coming first in things.
Yeah.
But in Deadpool Wolverine, when he makes a decide about not being afraid to look like a comic book, this is
Yeah.
absolutely not afraid to look like He-Man.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
These are all extremely faithful designs to the toys and cartoons and comics and other material they've had ever since.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. And it's a faithful adaptation, and it's it's not afraid to lean into it. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. Okay, it's visually not afraid to lean into it.
Yeah.
Choreography wise, it's not afraid to lean into it. Acting wise, it's not afraid to lean into it. Just that whoever wrote the script didn't want to be like, I don't want to be too silly, or I don't want people to think I'm actually enjoying this unironically. I better throw in another joke to undercut what we're doing here.
Yeah. Yeah, if that stuff hadn't been in there, like, it would have made for a much better movie.
Yeah, I don't know it would have saved it at the box office, but it would have been easier to recommend on streaming.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think that the grade you gave it is appropriate, like high C, low B. Yeah. C plus.
Yeah, like where what's right with it uh, is not compared to Cops and Robbersons, where I had to go, yeah, the only reason I like this thing is because of childhood nostalgia and Jack Palance.
Yeah.
This is like, there are many things to recommend this movie.
Yeah.
There are other things that don't recommend this movie. So you have to decide for yourself if we've painted a picture of a movie you care to watch.
Right. Yes. And currently on Amazon Prime. So
Probably locked there forever, honestly. You can't buy it separately at the moment. It is only if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber.
yeah. So you can watch this and get free 2-day shipping.
Yep. Or 1-day shipping if you're living in a very nice sub.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
but I think we've made our points.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think we've said all we need to say for tonight. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it as always. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell, buy some books, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next week. Night, everybody.
Good night.